Welcome back to another series of questions and answers. Today we have Pastor Dr. Howard Bowden and myself, Montreal Johnson. And today we'll be asking what is reading the Bible, what is the difference between reading the Bible and studying the Bible, and how do I study the Bible?
Montreal, those are good questions. We appreciate the weekly invitation to do this, and we'll do the best we can. She's over there with that camera, so we can't disappoint the rest of the world. Well, what's the difference in reading the Bible, studying the Bible? Reading the Bible is about familiarity. It's about getting familiar with the world that the Bible was written in. The places, the people, the things, the stories, those kind of situations. It's about immersing yourself into the pages of what we read and then soaking those things up so that they can influence our life. Sometimes you can read for appreciation. Sometimes you can read for knowledge. You can read for focus or modality. But reading is simply that. It's simply reading or citing words and some form of comprehension. Studying the Bible, on the other hand, is not only familiarity, but it digs more into the details. The what, the when, the why, the wheres, all of those things. And studying, you're concerned with the text or the literary composition and the experiences of the people. It's by default, reading is simple. The Bible was written for reading. But studying the Bible, on the other hand, takes more intent, more time, more as to why I need to understand what I'm reading. So when we study the Bible, unlike studying a mathematics book or studying history or language or those kind of things, studying the Bible is a little different because the Bible is written in a culture that's not ours. The Old Testament is written, for example, in Hebrew and Aramaic, and the New Testament is written in Greek, of which neither of us, simply by nature, speak. So it's hard to understand it from that perspective. But the more you study the Bible's teaching, the more you get grounded in your faith from it, you get better. So I recommend to people four basic things. One is to observe what you read. In other words, the key words, the Bible structure, the genre, the background, those things, pay attention to that. And do the best you can to take what you have isolated in that regard through observation. Write it down, and then subsequently go and dig deeper in those areas. For example, in America, when we think about marriage, we think about going over to the magistrate and standing before the judge, and he says all of that kind of good stuff. He says, legally, we do our I do's, and then we're married. Well, in Bible culture, it's somewhat different. A father, for example, makes another agreement with another father to give his son and his daughter to each other, and they don't need to know each other. That don't happen in America. And then they get to spend a year together as husband and wife without the sexual relationship. And then finally the consummation comes through that. So you got to understand those things so that when you start reading the Bible about marriage, you don't read it the way you see it here. You have to see it through the world in which it was written. The other thing I say to people after observation is interpretation. How do you see what you observe and then ask the question, what did I see? It goes beyond what it means to a secondary resource that helps me to understand what it means in this time. Because what it meant in that time should be the same thing that it means in this time, because it doesn't change. So to do that, you have to have other sources. You have to have Bible dictionaries, Bible atlases, Bible concordances, and things like that. A lot of people use commentaries, and commentaries are good after you've done the reading, after you've done the observation. So you never want to get a commentary and then you want to interpret from that commentary. You want to read it first, observe what you see, then get all of these other resources to help you interpretation. Then after interpretation and observation, you have connection. Okay, now how does what I'm reading, how does what I understand apply to me? What conclusion can I draw from this reading that's going to help me to be me and even a better me? Is it true? And if it is, it shouldn't change. And so the passage should connect me to it and subsequently to the author of the passage. So when Jesus says, for example, and you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free, what Jesus is trying to do is connect truth to me so that I can experience something. That's something being freedom. And then fourth and finally, there's application. How does that applies to me transform my life? What can I get, or what do I have as a Bible goal in my study? It should be transforming my life. It should be connecting me so that I can do what the disciple or the discipline of the Bible calls for. And one of the things that it doesn't call for is being puffed up. A lot of people that study the Bible, they want everybody to know how smart they are. Well, that's all well and good, but that's not, it's by design what it's for. It's to transform our lives so that we can plug in to an energy from a time that's not ours, and so that it can benefit us. So when you explore the Word of God, you attack it. Okay, where did God, or what did God say? Number one. Then you connect it. What is God saying? What He said in the past. What is He saying now about that same thing? And then you have to form an application for it. So in studying the Bible, if you can remember those three things, you got to understand what God said in the past, what He's saying right now, and how it applies to me. That's the goal of studying the Bible, because what it does ultimately is connects people to the Christ of the Bible. And if you're only going to read the Bible, or you're only going to be a listener of the reading of the Bible, then you never get to be connected to the Christ of the Bible. So when you think about reading versus studying, and you think about how to study, those are things that I offer people. We can get into a deeper discussion at a later time on the how, but it just can't be done in this form, because there's so many things you can do to get to the point of understanding. And Solomon said, and I'll close with this, Solomon said, in all thy getting, get an understanding. And I'll close with that. Thank you for the question, though. Good question.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Feel free to leave it in comments. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're at Leesburg Church of Christ. You can reach out to us by email at leesburgcoc@gmail.com. Or if you want to just swing by, you can reach us at 115 Putnam Street, West Leesburg, Georgia. Thank you for watching.